Welcome to Becoming Saiyans.
A Dragon Ball rewatch podcast.
And we're back. I'm Truman.
And I'm Jesse.
And this is Becoming Saiyans, a Dragon Ball rewatch podcast. On today's episode, we watched episodes 100 and 101, titled The Spirit Canon and The Fallen. And coming out, The Spirit Canon debuted in Japan on February 10th, 1988, and in America on December 30th, 2002. Whereas The Fallen came out February 17th, 1988, and December 31st, 2002. So New Year's Eve, we are watching this episode.
That'd be a pretty good New Year's Eve, can't lie.
Yeah, jumping into differences from the manga and trivia, at least for the first episode. Yamcha, Bulma, Puar, all on, yada yada, they're all at the hospital listening on the radio.
As we've kind of explained, just know that they're not here for the entirety of the arc after he broke his leg.
Yeah. In the manga, Tien's able to get Goku with the forearms and grab him after catching him off guard. In the anime, Goku has a whole bunch of other stuff that happens, and Tien sees an aerial kick coming before Tien grabs him.
Yeah.
Like in the manga. Tien only headbutts Goku once in the manga, whereas he does it 5 times here. Similarly, Goku whacks his tail only once, where he does it 8 times here. In the manga, Roshi explains that Goku's multi-arm technique is just the boy using his speed to make it appear he has 8 arms. The anime doesn't include that. The huge clash between Goku and Tien that ends up knocking them both out, with the announcer almost reaching the 10 count, isn't in the manga. Roshi's flashback about he and Goku ended up in a similar situation was also just added. Tien retracts his extra arms in the manga of his own volition, seeing that it was a waste of energy. In the anime, they retract his Tien breaks concentration after attempting to strangle Goku, while also being in a submission. During the grabbing scene, which wasn't in the manga, the announcer comes up to Tien and asks in the Japanese version if he wants to give up, only for Tien to refuse. Chiatsu attempts to aid, but also gets yelled at. When Chiatsu tries to get Tien to not use the tri-beam, only for Tien to say he won't die. They use telepathy to communicate this, but in the manga they use regular speech. Trivia. This episode is the 100th episode of Dragon Ball. Launches back with the group despite having been knocked off, all the way across the tournament grounds by Shin in the other episode, and it's never explained how she got back.
Yeah, I picked up on that, but I didn't care because it's fun to have launch back.
Yeah. And then jumping to the next episode, we have differences from the manga. Guess what the one is? Yamcha, Bulma, Launch Puar aren't there. They're listening over a radio. Which means that the scene where they hear Goku is falling to the ground has moved from them hearing it to them witnessing it.
Yep.
The anime presents the conclusion of the tournament with the gang and the rest of the spectators go into the spot where both of the fighters fell, and congratulating them. Roshi uses his telepathy to tell Tien that this is what it means to be adored instead of hated, and then they both get lifted up and taken off while Yamcha initiates an applause. None of that happened in the manga. Krillin's death is presented quite differently. In the manga, they all hear Krillin scream while still on the tournament grounds and rush to his aid. Here, however, they all leave the grounds to have a victory dinner, and everything that happens, Goku hears it for a second and then runs after him. This is, for trivia, the first episode to show one of the main characters dead. In this case, it is Krillin, this is his first death. Despite Roshi telling Tien that the crowd cheering for him means they no longer have hatred directed at him, it conflicts with an earlier scene in another episode where the girls said they already liked Tien and wanted his autograph. The restaurant that they go to is a different restaurant. This is possible. It's because Roshi couldn't follow up on his promise and they weren't going back to that one, so he went to a different restaurant as to not have to deal with that staff. And that is all the trivia and everything we have for this episode. So, previously on Dragon Ball. The conclusion of the World Martial Arts Tournament is going great. It starts with Goku fighting against the four-armed Tien, getting headbutted in the stomach a bunch to the point where he looked like he was about to pass out. But he's eventually able to use his tail to get out of it, put him in a full Nelson, and hold him until he yells for his mommy. And eventually, Tien tries to choke Goku, but then the arms retract because he's getting too weak from the full Nelson that's going on here. And so with that, they're able to break apart, and then they go back to just fighting some more until Tien decides he's going to pull out the special cannon, otherwise known as the tri-beam cannon. Tell me how a triangle cuts a square and completely destroys a square. I don't know, but it does, and the whole arena is gone after this attack, and so is Goku. Except for, just kidding, in the next episode we see that Goku had jumped so far out of the sky that nobody knew where he was at. They just knew he wasn't dead. And then eventually they were able to see him, and him and Tien fight just a little bit longer. Goku uses Kamehameha to headbutt him, and it's a fall to the finish line. Who's going to land first? It just so happens to be Goku after he gets hit by a truck and hits the ground, meaning that Tien is the winner. Tien tries to give his money, half of his money, to Goku, saying, "Man, you were going to win that one. You beat me. It was just that unlucky that truck hit you. You could call it the truck of fate that hit you right there." And Goku's like, "I don't even need money. Let's just go eat." But on their way to go eat, Goku realizes he left his power pole and his Dragon Ball back at the tournament. So Krillin, being the best bro that you could ever have, runs off to get it. And that is it for Krillin. My boy Krillin, Krillin, he does get killed by an unseen monster. Presumably saving the announcer's life because the announcer isn't killed. We find out the monster grabbed the Dragon Ball, grabbed a paper with just a list of names on it, and killed Krillin and peaced out. And that is what you missed on Dragon Ball. Jesse, go for it.
Great episodes. The best possible. I'm kidding, by the way. The best possible end at the final episode. Just gonna taunt Trimmer a little bit because he taunted me about some other stuff throughout these episodes. No, it is. Once I kind of skipping it a little bit. Like once I saw Krillin walk away, I'm like, well, something bad's gonna happen to him. Obviously, we know.
You even said that Krillin's gonna die, and I was like, Jesse, you're right. I can't tell you, but you're right.
Like the way Goku's looking at him, Goku felt something was off, but he couldn't prove it. So he's like, I guess we'll see it a little bit, Krillin. Yeah. It's like you could tell something was gonna happen. Whether he was dead or he was going to be like severely wounded, something bad was going to happen.
Yeah, you could see it coming.
Especially because it wasn't Goku going to get the thing.
And the way it ended was different than how I remember it happening. I remember it happening as Goku could notice something was off, but it was played just normal. You could see it on his face that he's like, but not like a full stop where everybody stares at Krillin and he's like, "Don't worry, guys, I'll be right back." It was just I remember him running off and then Goku looking and be like, that doesn't seem good. Anyways, let's go eat.
Yeah, there was more suspicion.
Yeah, because I felt like it was just going to be it's supposed to be seen as shocking, but it's definitely watching it. I'm like, oh yeah, this is 100% shown exactly what's going to happen. You
know something bad's happening. I guess the shocking part is you're expecting him to not be dead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, you hope he's not dead. At least I do. But, I even wrote it down in my note for that second episode as I know it's coming, but I'm never ready. And it always hurts every time we go there and you see, it hurts. You see Goku's reaction. You see Krillin's dead body. It's just tough because he's just a child,
Yeah, he is still just
we've seen people get killed before, but he is just a child.
Regardless of how strong he is, in universe, which I guess kind of the fact that he died to it, kind of does also go to show as a power scale. This thing is on a different level.
It's up to top 3 in the world right now,
because it was able to kill Krillin.
Yeah.
Top 3 in the world. I don't think it's 3.
Yeah.
And there's an argument that it's probably also not 2.
Yeah.
I think it's number 1.
Yeah. It hurts every time I see it,
It also gives context to the name of the episode, being The Fallen. I was like, The Fallen is just a reference to Krillin.
The Fallen has been Krillin the whole time.
But we're skipping really, really far ahead in the recap.
That's literally the last 3 minutes of the second episode.
Yeah. But going back to the fight and how the fight's going, this is about as good of an ending to a fight. The last 20-ish plus minutes of this fight, because you have moments where it bounces back and forth and things like that.
How do you feel about the ending, Jesse, of the fight? Because, like, for the first episode, it's just the only note I have that's worth anything is that, like, Goku being able to pull out 8 arms, even though it's just because he's moving really fast, is cool. And the tri-beam cannon is just insane technique. Every time I see it, I'm just like, this is insane. But Jesse seemed to have some notes about how the ending of the fight went.
It's like, I guess we're just setting a precedent that, like, the World Martial Arts Tournament, until Goku wins, because obviously Goku's going to win at some point, until Goku wins, it's just going to end on the most, like, dumb BS, because last time it ended on, like, who gets up first, and Goku just was a few seconds late getting up behind Jackie. Yeah. And then this was like, who lands first, and of course Goku gets hit by a truck, thus landing half a second before Tien lands. Yeah. Tien, the character who has, like, who literally was so knocked out and so zonked out that when he recovered, he had, like it's surprised Pikachu face.
Yeah.
He's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Whereas when Goku recovers, he's like, he has all of his wits about him.
Yeah.
But, like, in hindsight, because we were talking a little bit off.
Yeah,
off
I brought up the philosophy of it off mic,
like the meta philosophy,
without spoiling stuff that happens. It's that, like, when Goku, because he does eventually win the tournament, and the tournament's name is number 1 under the heavens, or like best under the heavens.
Yeah, the tournament's name is the World Martial Arts Tournament.
Yeah, but it's
you are crowned.
But, like, the Japanese name of it that it's based off of is like number 1 under the heavens.
Number 1 under the sun, I think.
Yeah, under the sun, under the heavens, whatever, and that is
because there's another anime I've watched recently that, like, had the same thing.
Yeah,
so.
But they like, once Goku does win it, that's when the show is allowed to, like, move on to, like, extraterrestrials and
crazy
otherworldly
stuff,
threats,
which we know comes in Z.
Yeah, and so if he were to win this one now, like, then
technically there's nothing left on the planet
for him to
planet
do
Earth that, like, can beat him. So
yeah,
he has to win it when there's nothing left to beat.
Yeah, and we know that there's another threat looming, which we don't know the name of, some sort of monster that came and attacked. But, like, that is the thought after watching it, and I've seen this throughout, like, when people are talking about it, is it's like, it's so cool how, like, it's not until Goku becomes the strongest one on Earth that the other monsters,
the universe starts to, like
send tougher
show up.
Yeah, that's when the other characters from the other worlds
and I think I mean, knowing some of, like, the plot of the characters that show up, it does make sense that it takes Goku being recognized as the strong, and because this is kind of showing my knowledge of, like, what happens in Dragon Ball Z. So if I remember right, like, some of the first extraterrestrials to show up and start picking fights with Goku is Vegeta, isn't it? Like, the other Saiyan.
I say nothing,
but I'm pretty sure, like, he's like he's at least, like, the moment where, like, Z really starts to hit his stride, at least, if he's not the first person to show up.
I say
to challenge Goku. And it's like, well, of course the other, like, another person of Goku's race will show up, because now he, like, because Goku's at a certain power level, maybe he can, like, recognize Goku's aura off of Earth, and he shows up to challenge him. I don't know the plot.
It's the same. It's the same as, like, with, like, Superman, where as soon as Superman, like, is, like, recognized as, like, a defender on Earth, as soon as he starts to use his powers, that's when the evil Kryptonians like Zod and stuff show up. Like, okay, time to fight.
We're getting Kryptonian power levels off of this planet. Maybe we should go investigate.
Yeah,
and kill them.
Yeah. Well, at first they're like, well, we should go investigate him and get him on our side so we can wreck the whole Earth.
Kill.
And then he's like, I don't want to do that. It's like, well, time to kill him.
Superman's not Omni-Man. So
yeah.
Remember, we have to kill this guy.
Yeah. But yeah,
that's where I kind of, like, I don't know enough about Dragon Ball Z to confirm if I'm correct, and I don't want to be confirmed if I'm correct, because I want to get there and be like, haha, I was correct, or oh, I was slightly off on this.
Yeah.
But, like, I do remember, like, he's one of, like, the first real challenges that Goku has to face in Z, if I remember.
I say nothing.
Maybe the Ginyu Force, maybe shows up.
I say nothing.
I don't know.
That's a weird name to pull. That's such a weird pull for everybody at home. That is an insane pull to pull out. Which I know it's because there's like jokes about like some characters like come get ready to fight my elite task force, and then it's just like 5 guys dancing as they walk out.
I know they get you force because I watched a playthrough of like a Dragon Ball Z game way back like 8 years ago at this point. Like, I think I was still in like middle school or was just a freshman when it came out. But like one of the plot points was like it was like a time traveler game, and they had to go back in time and stop the Ginyu Force from actually being competent. Oh, yeah. So they had to like beat them up because like in like the alternate history they like gained an artifact that made them like actually like a threat, and so they had to go beat them into submission.
Yeah. That's just such an insane pull because every time I see them it's really bad name, like character that's like a legitimate threat that could like destroy the whole universe is like, before I fight you, you're gonna have to fight my elite special task force, and then it says the Ginyu Force : and it's just them like dancing because they're known for like their dance moves as they like show up. They do dance moves and poses. It's pretty great. We'll get there. It's probably another year or maybe even 2 before we get there.
Before we get to the Ginyu Force.
But
I love your reaction to me pulling out the Ginyu Force
because like I was expecting like one of the names that like is more recognized. You pulled out like the mini bosses for one of the main bad guys.
I pulled out the silly tech on you.
Yeah, it caught me completely.
I also love them because they're so memeable, so I see memes of them all the time.
Yeah.
Which just shows you how like incompetent they are.
Yeah.
But also why they might be some of the first things he encounters as well. But we get back to the fight and it's like, I mean, Goku's giving them to it. Like, I also love that like when they both go down simultaneously, the announcer was getting jiggy with the countdown. He's like doing poses and dances while he's counting them down.
I love the announcer. There's not a better. I wrote this down during the second episode, but this is better. He's a better official than these NBA playoff officials have been. He's like, oh god, the fight's over there. I got thrown out my capsule and jump in my airplane so I can keep officiating.
There's a non-zero chance that when this episode comes out, for you guys, that the NBA Finals ended like a week ago. Because if it's a sweep, it's like it's over already.
Yeah, but while we're recording this, we are still in the Western Conference Finals.
While we're recording this, actually, right now,
Game 6 is going on.
Game 6 of the Western Conference Finals.
It's like about to come back from the third quarter. About to come back in the third quarter.
Actually, there's about 4 minutes into the third quarter.
But they,
because I can see it, he can.
Yeah. But that was just a dig at the NBA officiating during this whole thing. They've been
very
not to get on a tangent, but man, as somebody who's a Suns fan who had to deal with the Thunder in the first round. Not that we were ever going to win that series, but the fact that they needed all that extra crap just to beat us,
just to sweep you.
Yeah, it's like, come on, you don't have to be
if the refs weren't helping you, at most we get 1 game off of you in Phoenix. Yeah. At most we maybe win Game 3, and then you curb stomp us again in 4 and 5.
Yeah, you don't need all this extra crap. If you're that good, you don't need to do all the extra crap. That's my whole thing. Is that if you really were as good as you guys, as the Thunder fans say that you are, like, you don't need all the extracurricular crap to be that good. You don't need Lou Dort falling into people randomly, quotation marks, heavily around randomly.
Falling into superstars randomly.
Oh, no. I can't believe I just accidentally fell into your knee and hyperextended it. I can't believe that happened.
Anyways, we're not
sorry.
We're not sports.
Sorry, I get so angry about this because I work with like a diehard Thunder fan who is like, my boss, his brother and cousin have a Thunder podcast. So like I hear about it all the time, and I'm just like, gah. Anyways,
no one can deny that they're good, but it's the style of play that people hate. Because it's like, we know you're good enough to not play like a bunch of pansies.
Yeah. It really bothers me. But anyways, yeah.
But he's giving a good fight. I love the Charlie horse that he gives him.
Yeah.
And then puts him into the submission. Which, by the way, when you were reading off Full Nelson, I kept chuckling to myself. what during your like explanation, because every time I hear the full Nelson, I just think of the Phineas and Ferb moment where he's like, now he's giving him a half Nelson, now he's giving him a full Nelson, now he's just beating him with Nelson. It's like it's when Buford's surfing and he's he's got a nerd and then in the last one he's got Nelson by the legs and is just beating him over the head with them. It just makes me laugh every time I see that clip.
Yeah. My first note for the first episode was the problem with being that big is that he'll be slower, which does seem to be true. Like, he's not getting as many hits on Goku until he has Goku completely grabbed. Like, Goku's able to dodge and avoid.
But it also just comes down to what's the actual like speed difference between him and Goku when Goku was going as hard as Goku is going in these last like episode and a half of the fights.
Yeah.
Like this last 20 minutes of fighting, because Goku's probably going
as fast as he can,
like full potential.
Yeah.
Like if you're measuring off of like Deku's One for All, like he's going 100%.
Yeah.
like the entire time.
And Tien chooses to slow himself down,
for the power advantage.
But the problem is that the only times he gets hits on Goku when he's in 4-arm mode is when he has Goku corralled. Mm-hmm. So, like, any other time, Goku's able to avoid them. Because, like, even the first hit is because Goku's blocking 2 punches.
Yep.
But, like, after that, when Goku gets up and is able to just, like, Mr. Miyagi his way through those 4 arms, because they're slower and he's moving faster. And he's smaller, so they have to be more targeted.
Yeah.
And it's not working. And that the energy output versus the result is just not... The scales are not going the way it's supposed to. But once he's grabbed and he's getting headbutted a bunch of times, I was literally in the middle of writing, why don't you just use your tail? As he uses his tail, and I wrote down, I was about to write, you should use his tail. Because, like, that was my thought. I was watching, I'm like, dude, you got an extra appendage. Just use it, you know? And we know you've trained your tail. Use it.
Yeah, and then, like, his arms go away once he, like, starts to focus and gets into the Nelson submission. And it's just, like, this fight is so hype.
Yeah.
He gets out of the submission, and he's like, I didn't want to have to do this. Please dodge so I don't kill you. Yeah. And he goes into the air. Tien does, and unleashes the tri-beam cannon.
Yeah, which is so insane because the name of the episode is the Spirit Cannon.
Yeah,
and there's not a Spirit Cannon in it.
It's got to be some sort of like translation difference.
I'm gonna go look real quick, see if there's anything about translation on here.
Because there's no other
the other name of the episode is Life or Death, A Last Resort. Also, the original episode title Cannon was spelt with 1 N instead of 2. But yeah, the literal name from Japan is Life or Death, A Last Resort. There's nothing about it being a different name, you know. It is just the tri-beam cannon. Like, when I read the Spirit Cannon, I was like, when does this happen? Like, what move is that? Like, I know what Tien's known for. The tri-beam cannon is, like, his move, because 3 eyes, makes a triangle, shoots it out of his eyes is what I assume happens. I know that's not, but, like, every time I think about it, it's just him just like, ah, and it just shoots out of his eyes.
Like, it feels like it should be that way.
Yeah, but, no, I don't know why they called it the Spirit Cannon. But it does make your prediction wrong. To be fair,
it does make my prediction wrong. Even though it's like technically, how was I supposed to guess that it wasn't the Spirit Cannon because they got the title wrong?
Yeah, but it looks like one thing that I've noticed because I've been rewatching Super is Super has the same naming convention as that naming convention is in English.
Yeah,
of like Life or Death. A Last Resort is like the way that the announcer, like the narrator, comes in and is like, Goku appears, the fight of our lives, or you know, something like that. And it's like two completely different sentences put like back to back.
Yeah.
And so like seeing that, I'm like, oh yeah, they must have just gotten closer to the Japanese titling. But yeah, I don't know why they call it the Spirit Cannon. when it's the tri-beam cannon.
It's like, I was right. It was named after a tech.
Yeah.
Like it was supposed to be named after the technique.
Yeah.
Just the technique didn't have the name of the title of the episode.
And the technique isn't because he like draws out the souls of nature or something to shoot it. It's just like
he's powering it with his own spirit essence.
Yeah. Like even Roshi,
which does give to another great Roshi line where like Krill's like, why would he do that? And Roshi just literally is like, ambition seldom gives way to reason.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? That's a bar.
That's a Yoda line right there.
That is a bar.
Yeah. That's wise sensei moments. It's like, it doesn't make sense, but it doesn't have to. He wants to win. And he wants to win so bad that he's not going to do exactly what he needs to do.
Yeah, he wants to win so bad he's taking a chance.
Yeah.
Is it stupid?
It's a calculated risk.
Yeah, like is it a stupid chance?
Mostly.
And is he
but it's a
dumb for
calculated... Yes, because if it wasn't for the truck, Goku wins because of that move.
Yep.
Like, we don't know if Goku would have won if they just kept going head-to-head, if eventually Goku would win that war of attrition. But we do know, if that truck doesn't appear on that road, Goku wins by, like, a split second.
Yeah. Instead of it being him losing by a split second, he wins by a split second, yeah.
Yeah. But that's where the first episode leaves off, is the cannon has gone off. Again,
the platform is gone, Goku is gone.
I want to bring it, how do all these squares make a circle? How does this triangle break up the square completely? He's shooting in a triangle fashion. Why does it cut in a square? It doesn't make any sense. How do all these squares make a circle? It's all of that. It's constantly that. But anyways, that's just silly. But my next note is, holy crap, how did he get up there? Like, how did he jump that high? Because like to get that high in the air, you would expect that he used the Kamehameha. But he doesn't. He just jumps a million feet in the air.
He just goes that high.
Yeah. And he's like...
Which I think, again, just shows how much Goku holds back sometimes.
Yeah, because it's like, dude, what? You jumped past him and he didn't even notice. And then we get a classic Goku headbutt, his go-to move, his signature move. Headbutt you as hard as he can in the stomach.
Yeah, by using Kamehameha to accelerate himself faster.
Yes. And then that's where I put the note about better officiating in the NBA playoffs. And then
because he hops in a plane to give live updates on who hits first.
Yeah.
Which is the only reason why people know that Goku hit first. And Tien did not.
Yeah. It is a factual thing via the rules. Because we know, just seeing how Tien reacts and how Goku wouldn't have noticed, and how Tien reacts, if it's that close without a third-party official, Tien would have just conceded, because he even says later on, like, you beat me. Like, I won on a technicality, but you beat me.
It's like, technically, you were more conscious than I was when I won. Like, if there wasn't the arbitrary who hit first rule, I would have lost, because it would have taken me way longer to get up than you to get up.
Yeah. But I wrote down who hit the ground first, because they kind of leave it ambiguous when it first happens.
Well, because
we see Goku hit and then we see Tien hit, but we don't see them on the screen at the same time.
I believe it is edited that way to imply that Goku hit just first. Because that's how I took it. Like I was like, oh yeah, Goku hit first. As soon as I saw the edit, I was like, yeah, Goku hit first. Because why? Because when you don't show them at the same time, you are supposed to be, like, the audience is believed to be smart enough to interpret that the reason why Goku was shown first is he hit first.
Yeah.
And also, he was one hit by a car, so obviously the car hit him, put him on the ground first.
But speaking of editing, thank you for setting me up for that one. I'll slam that one down. The editing while they're like surrounding the Tien and Goku, and they're all talking about like Goku, like, oh my gosh, you did so good out there. You're my favorite. You got really nice hair. I love your hairstyle. And then it cuts to Tien getting up, and it's a bald guy saying nice hairstyle to Tien.
To a bald guy.
Yeah, it's just great, you know. Otherwise, like, you know, I wrote down, like, it's insulting what Roshi said to Tien about, like, you know, it's true, but it's insulting. Like, maybe people will like you now, you know?
Well, it's the fact of, like, Roshi kind of knows deep down. It's like, if you're training under Shin and you're that ready to murder a person, then you're probably not well received by most people you come across.
Yeah.
I mean, we even know, like, deep down, like, from probably 20, 30 episodes ago, like when he appeared during Goku's like training arc, when we first see Tien and Chiatsu, where they're scamming villages out of money by working with like a monster pig to then be like, we'll solve your problem, and then like the pig takes a fall and they all get away with food and money. You just scam people out of it. So, like, when you're running that type of scam when you first meet a character, obviously they're not a good person and people don't like them.
This is a moment where I do want to bring this up now that we've reached the end of the saga, is that I really do love Tien, like, as a character. Like, going past this, I enjoy his thing. Because he doesn't go back to Shin, just like, spoiler alert. They don't go to train under Shin.
Well, I think that was obvious. We're like, well, we already betrayed Shin.
Yeah, we renounced him, but we can't take another school's name. So, like, we are trainees of the Crane school.
We're not going to associate with them outside of just knowingly being associated with them.
Yeah, but they go to, like, they become, like, monks, basically. Like,
just, like, hermits.
Yeah, well, they, traveling monks. Like, they travel, they train, they are a part of nature, all that kind of stuff.
Like hermits.
Hermits are more like, I'm settled down in one spot. And I don't associate with people, but I'm like settled in my one spot, really. Because when I think of a hermit, I think of like the hermit under the bridge.
When I'm referencing hermits and like monks and I'm mixing, I'm thinking more like the D&D version, like the D&D background.
Okay.
Where it's like that's a common background for monks in D&D or like wizards in D&D is like because the D&D hermit is someone who just travels from city to city, taking odds and ends. Making a little bit like doing a job in a city, getting some money, getting some supplies from that city from the money you got from doing that little like maybe helping somebody farm and then moving on to the next place.
Okay.
So that's where I referenced the hermit as was like, oh, they're just moving from forth or gypsies.
Yeah, but that's not a good.
But that's not a good word.
But
like that's
that type of lifestyle. Is
that
kind of
type of lifestyle where you're just going through. But that's why I referenced the D&D hermit in my brain when I think of hermits.
Okay, I just think of, like, when I think of hermits, I think of, like, the hermit under the bridge, the hermit that, like Orochi style, where they're kind of just settled in one spot, and they don't really interact with people.
Yeah.
But I do love, finally, we get to, like, well-adjusted Tien at the end of this episode, because I do really enjoy Tien.
Like, even...
Not so much Chiatsu, I don't really care much about Chiatsu, but, like, Tien I really do enjoy.
Chiatsu's just another, like, kind of... simple character, I guess is the best way to put it.
He ends up becoming like one of the joke characters as like the show continues.
Yeah.
Like we see that he's not even on like at this point he's not on the level of like Krillin and probably not even Yamcha at full strength. Like,
the only reason why he can beat like he could ever beat either of them is like by using telepathy.
Yeah.
Like that's his big hallmark is he has one of the most overpowered just like powers in the entire universe.
They even nerf it later on. Like I'm not gonna spoil it, but like he like never uses it as good as he uses it in this saga. Like this is the most good, like the most powerful he's been. He only gets worse as it goes along.
Yeah.
But like that's my thing is I just love Tien. I wish Chiatsu didn't exist for the most part because like for the most part it's like Yamcha and Puar. It's like if Puar didn't exist, it doesn't really add or it doesn't really take away much from the show if there was no Puar. Like it's same as with like Chiatsu. If like Chiatsu didn't exist, it just means like Tien wouldn't have somebody to say, "Hey Chiatsu, let's go," you know? Like
he wouldn't have a sidekick.
Yeah. It's like he literally just has like an animal sidekick. That's what Chiatsu eventually is, like a joke character / animal sidekick, and it's like whatever. But I love Tien, and I love that we're finally getting to like well adjusted.
Like even
Tien.
Like as I said, like even in this saga, it's hard not to enjoy his character, like how he is in this saga, because it's like he is kind of what you need in a tournament arc, just like a guy who you know it's going to be mano a mano. He's the big guy. He's the final boss.
Yeah.
And you're just waiting for that clash. And then that's what you get.
Yeah, he for what the role he is meant to play as like the heel of the tournament, like he does that well. But now that he's like part of the squad, we finally get like fun, like, you know, well adjusted Tien, and I like that. So But then we finally get to the part of like Krillin passing away. It's a sad moment. It really sucks. I'm not like
For reference, I just like read a notification on my phone right as Truman started saying that, so I started laughing. I want to tell you, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the tweet that I just saw that popped up on my phone.
Okay.
I'm not on Twitter. It's just like on my notification bar. Yeah. I'm not laughing at you because Krillin is dead.
Yeah.
I'm laughing, and it just happened to be the worst time for me to read that.
Yeah. But Krillin, like I know I say it a lot. Like, I'm like, he's my boy K. Krillin. Like I really do mean it. That like Krillin is my favorite character in this show.
Yeah.
He like even going into Z, he's still like one of my favorite characters. He gets like replaced. He ends up falling to like third favorite character in Z and beyond. But especially in Dragon Ball proper, he is my favorite character. More than Goku, more than any of the other ones we'll see. Like, more than any of them that we have or will be seeing in the next 100 or next 50 episodes, he is my favorite. And I knew it was coming. I know it comes. Like, the first time I saw this, it shocked me. And it was very sad. But every time I've seen it since then, it's like, I know it's coming and it still hits me. I'm like, gosh dang it. He's just a child. He was just a boy. And now he's dead. You know?
My boy, that's my boy.
Yeah, it literally is that. Like, the Goblet of Fire as, like, Cedric Diggory's dead body is thrown out in front of the people. That's what I feel like. Is like, Krillin, no. Krillin, no. But, no. It's just, that's how I feel about it. I love him. He, like I said, he is my favorite character in Dragon Ball. And now, who knows when he will be back. We obviously know, foreshadowing, they said it was his first death. So we know he dies at least another time.
It's if there's one thing I know about Dragon Ball, people love coming back from the dead.
Yeah.
Like people even if they are dead, they love still appearing as still dead, but in the living world for like an episode.
Character with a halo, like the character model, but wearing a halo. Yeah.
As was established like 30 episodes ago. Yeah.
With Grandpa Gohan.
Yep.
But it really does. It hurts every time, and it makes me sad every time. And it's important for the show and for the next bit.
It is impactful because it also gives because as you come to realize almost immediately, Goku is not going to seek out the Dragon Balls unless he has a legitimate reason to seek out the Dragon Balls.
Yeah, he never wanted to in the first place. He was just like, cool, you know.
It's like you say, hey, it's something to do. I can leave home and stuff. Yeah. And also, like, his grandpa's ball gets stolen, and then he gets it back, and then Bulma's like, we gotta stop the bad guys from getting the Dragon Balls so the world doesn't get taken over.
Yeah.
And Goku's like, yeah, that sounds like a logical thing to do.
Yeah.
And then the second time he collects them, is like, I gotta bring Bora back.
Yeah.
It's like I have to save my new friend's dad who just got murdered
because of me.
Like he was brutally murdered because I just happened to be here, so I feel responsible. I gotta fix this.
Yeah.
So now,
he was gathering them before that.
Yeah.
Because it was at that point it was like took my. I want to find my grandpa's Dragon Ball, and I stumbled into this giant army.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he wasn't going to collect them all. He was just going to keep collecting until he got his grandpa's ball.
Yeah.
And then Bora gets murdered. He's like, well, now I have to get them all.
Yeah.
And now we're getting a new setup where it's like, okay, I have to bring Krillin back, so I have to get all these Dragon Balls, and at the same time, I have to stop whoever killed Krillin.
Yeah.
So now we got a whole new motivation.
Yeah. But Jesse, since we're at the end of the saga, do you want to circle back to your saga predictions, Jesse?
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get anything else right, because I think most of them dealt with Goku winning.
The Goku wins the tournament was your end of your saga predictions.
Yeah.
That one, Jesse, I'm going to say incorrect.
All right.
Goku wins the fight as the 2 episode predictions. Jesse, that one is not right.
I'm going to go out on a limb and assume...
Tien and or Goku pulls out a technique called the Spirit Cannon. Jesse, it's called the Tri-Beam Cannon. I can't believe you didn't get that from the title, the Spirit Cannon.
Yeah.
Can't believe you didn't get that one.
I would have guessed. I wonder why.
The Fallen is a mention to the next big bad. Jesse, that is not right.
The Fallen is Krillin is dead. And Fallen, or obviously, the Fallen also references how the fight ends.
Yeah. Yeah, and also you said that like the Fallen being being the name of the character of the bad guy,
Nope.
and that the Fallen is a fallen angel as the next bad guy. Jesse?
We can't confirm that yet, but it's not right because it's the end of the saga.
Yeah. With that, Jesse, that leads you with a perfect 0% rating.
Yeah. Granted, one of those is literally because how was I supposed to get the move correct when the name wasn't in the name?
Yeah, if it was named Tri-Beam Cannon, you would have gotten that one right.
Like that one. If I was
and you
really...
probably would have said, and Tien's the one to use it because he's the one with 3 eyes. Like you would even go more like succinct on who uses the Tri-Beam Cannon.
Yeah.
Because it's
that one is probably the first one. I'm like, okay, come on, like, can we really count me as being wrong there? Because how am I supposed to be right?
Yeah, come on, Jesse. Just don't. Why don't you know the Spirit Cannon is the Tri-Beam Cannon? But with that sour taste and with the saga coming to a close, Jesse, what are your final thoughts on the Tien Shinhan saga?
God, I love tournaments, brother. I love tournaments.
And this one's a just pure tournament. The entire because like the first tournament saga, we had the whole training and lead up to the tournament.
Yep.
This one is just tournament.
And I'm gonna go out on a limb and say the next tournament saga, which is probably towards like the last couple episodes of the show of Dragon Ball. I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume Goku wins that one.
Okay.
But
I will tell you, this is like this next saga we're coming up on is not the last saga. There's 2 sagas left, so
it's this one and then the next.
Then the next one,
which I'm assuming the last saga is probably a tournament saga that Goku wins, as we kind of mentioned.
Okay,
because I know Z is the next show after this.
Yes. But before we get there, I just wanted to circle on your thoughts about the episode, about the saga as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than the first tournament saga. I think I say that.
Yeah.
But it's hard not to improve on yourself, especially with, 40 to 50 episodes in between tournament sagas?
Something like that.
Like, give or take.
Yeah, I can definitely
Because the tournament saga, the first tournament saga ends. Then we go on the
whole Red
Ribbon saga.
The first tournament saga ends at episode 28, and then the second one starts at let me get down to it. Sorry, I went the wrong way. But the next one starts at 84. So it's about almost 60 episodes in between.
So when you have 60 episodes of like world building in between, it's hard not to improve on yourself.
One thing you brought up was like the animation, like because they show a flashback.
But they show a flashback, like you can tell, like the budget has gone up on the animation because,
or the time has gone up, or the manpower, something has gone up to make it look cleaner.
Well, that would kind of go into budget.
Yeah,
you have the ability to make everything cleaner, which you should expect, because if you release one episode, if you average one episode every week, and you've released 60 and almost 60 episodes, you've gone almost an entire year of making the show.
Yeah.
So at barest minimum, if you never stop releasing episodes weekly.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, there's probably
a break in between there. At least like 2 or 3 week breaks here and there.
So like if you're also taking breaks, then you have even longer to improve. Those breaks are probably allowing you to finish out polishing up certain animations and then giving you more time to get ahead on the next episodes coming out before the next break. So all logic points to, well, of course, the animation has gotten better, because if it didn't get better, then you're invincible.
Yeah.
Not to rag on another show, but like, then you're invincible. Yeah. And you're paying too much to your voice actors. Maybe you should stop paying that much to your voice actors.
Yeah. I don't know. They do a pretty good job.
They do a great job, but like,
it's wrong priorities.
Yeah, because you could find really good like voice actors on a much smaller budget
instead of getting AAA talent for like AAA acting talent.
Instead of just going to the voice actor.
Yeah, go into the voice actor.
That's a whole different show. We're not talking about it.
And speaking of the show we are talking about, Jesse, do you want to hear what the name of the next saga is?
Yeah,
for your
I gotta make my predictions. Yeah.
You want to know it?
Yes.
It is the King Piccolo saga. What does King Piccolo sound like to you, Jesse? Jesse is making a shocked Pikachu face himself right now with a little bit of joy.
I'm excited
because I think he knows the name.
I know who Piccolo is. Now, is it the same Piccolo? Is what I have to guess. Because
I cannot tell you that.
Because I know Piccolo and he is world's best dad.
I cannot tell you that, Jesse. I refuse to tell you.
But is he the king, or is he like a different Piccolo?
I refuse to tell you.
Also,
I'm saying nothing.
He's a pickle, and he's absolutely supposed to be like a black-coated character.
I say nothing.
But no, well, I think we're fighting King Piccolo. I think that's who we're fighting this saga.
What do you think he wants?
Maybe he wants his wife back. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, he's collecting the Dragon Balls, so
he wants something.
Yeah, he wants something. Definitely wants something.
Do you want me to give you the episode names for the next 2 episodes?
Well, we're not watching 2 episodes next. We're watching the movie next.
Oh, you're right. I
So
forgot. So we will have to leave these
two
2 episodes for later, which means we have to pull back up the name of the movie so that you can try to take a guess at that. Where is the name of the movie? Dragon Ball Mystical Adventure. Jesse, what do you think is going to happen in Mystical Adventure?
Well,
outside of what I've already told you from the picture.
Yeah, I would say. Well, we obviously know we're going back to Penguin Village.
Here, if you want to circle the table really quick, I have the picture pulled up. I don't want to move the computer because I don't want to mess it up. This is the poster for it, Jesse. What do you think is going to happen in the Mystical Adventure? What do you think that is? Jesse, describe to the audience what you're seeing.
Okay, so we're on the Nimbus Cloud. Goku's at the front. Then we get directly behind him are the 2 little fairy characters, the Gachamons. Then looming above all the Gachamons and Goku on the cloud, Tao is back, apparently, with no halo. And then at the very back of the cloud is
Ariel.
Is Ariel. And then a bunch of scenery in the background.
All right, so Jesse, what do you think is going to happen in this episode?
Well,
or in this movie?
This movie, I believe, Tao is going to be a villain.
Tao is the villain. Who could have seen that coming?
And I mean, honestly, what it feels like, it's just going to be a quick retelling of everything dealing with Tao from the actual anime.
Okay.
But condensed into a movie is my guess.
Okay.
Because the only other reason why young Goku will be back at Penguin Village and Tao is in the poster is probably because he's fighting Tao back into the village again.
Well, Tao was never at the village. That was Blue.
Was that Blue? Oh,
that
was
was
Blue. Yeah. Okay, maybe I'm dumb.
I don't know. I refuse to tell you anything about that.
Yeah, for some reason I had in my brain that was Tao that got to the village.
I can tell you it's a little bit different here. Like reading the summary, the timeline is a little bit different than the timeline says it takes place during Goku and Krillin's training under Master Roshi. So, if that gives you anything to predict on,
yes,
the timeline, the timeline is converging, and it's like a different. It's like first they go and stop the sleeping princess from Devil's Castle, and then they show up and Tao's there for some reason. Whatever's going on.
Fighting Tao in the Penguin Village.
Okay.
That's the best I got. I don't know what else I'm supposed to interpret from that poster.
Okay. I'm putting it there. So Jesse, with all your predictions, what do you think was your worst part in these last 2 episodes?
Ooh. I mean, there's not... So I know what you're going to say. Pretty accurately, I feel confident about. It's going to be Krillin being dead.
It does hurt my soul. I can't say it's my worst part because it's done well, but it is the part that hurts me the most in these episodes. In the first 101 episodes,
the most painful part.
Yeah, this part hurts me more than anything.
No, I mean there's not really anything.
I thought you were gonna pick the truck. It was gonna be your worst.
I mean,
part. Because you did not like that.
That's anticlimactic. It's an anticlimactic way to end it. But how else are you supposed to end it? Because if you end it going mano a mano, Goku would have now have 2 titles. I think even Chun and / Roshi.
Chun. You can just be real.
admit that Goku probably wouldn't have beaten him had he had just a little bit more experience.
Yeah.
So there's a very good argument that Goku could have 2 winners medals.
Yeah. For me, it's just, like, my worst part, just to get it out of the way, is probably just the fact that, like, it took Goku so long to use his tail. There were moments where it felt a little stretched when it
Like
could
the
have
pacing?
been. It could have just been a little condensed. And I know it's nitpicky because I didn't care that much about it, but as a part, like, if they kept it more close to the manga,
And these episodes are so good.
Yeah, I don't mind it, but like, if I'm gonna pick a part, it's like you could have condensed it just a little.
I
bit.
guess if you're gonna pick a worst part about like anything for me, it's probably just spoiling by how they did it when Krillin runs away, like spoiling like, oh, something obviously bad is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because
If it had just been more surprising, it would have hit harder.
Yeah,
Because
as
even
he's getting
before-
ready to leave, you're like, oh, something bad's gonna happen.
You said like Krillin's gonna die, and I know you were like joking in that moment, but like he really did just.
But it's like it was. I said it was a joke. So I'm like, oh, obviously something bad's gonna happen to Krillin. But I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it would be funny. If like, oh, Krillin's gonna die. You know, say it's a joke.
Yeah.
And then like he is dead. And you're like, well, why did you why did you spoil it so hard by like zooming in, Goku being like, wait, oh, and you took like 20 seconds for Krillin to run off.
That's definitely a part where the pacing felt bad. So yeah,
It like spoils this big emotional moment at the very like that's supposed to start off the new saga.
yeah. And this really does feel like you're just supposed to go straight into that next saga, which is hilarious because we're like, movie time.
Is this when it says to watch the
No,
movie?
it says to watch it like episode like 93 or something. Like midway through the tournament saga, you're supposed to stop and go watch this. Like, yeah.
I guess it's,
I think it's
guess,
like in between Rivals and Arrivals and like the start of the tournament is where they want you to watch it.
It must be like Goku must kill Tao in the movie because I think around that time is when they realized that Goku killed Tao.
Yeah.
So then
that
it's like,
does
oh,
make
go
a little
watch
sense.
this. Go watch the movie so you can watch Goku kill Tao again.
But the movie
Assuming
came out like
you haven't watched the episode where he kills Tao.
yeah. But the thing is with that is I think the movie comes out after this next saga, I'm pretty sure. So Rivals and Arrivals, where'd it go? I went the wrong way. Rivals and Arrivals came out in October 1987 is when the saga starts for the tournament saga. The movie comes out in Japan or at the Toei Cartoon Festival July 9th, 1988. So like you literally after the saga, like because I'm pretty sure the last episode, didn't I say it came out like just New Year's Eve? Like,
Yeah, I think so.
Of 97, I'm pretty sure.
Or you'll mean like
Or
87?
1988. February 17th, 1988 is when it came. The end of this saga came out.
Yeah.
And then the movie doesn't come out until June. But they say, put it right here in between these two episodes. I guess, like, if you are watching timeline-wise, it's nice to get a reminder that Goku killed Tao. But, like, they show it, like, every other episode for the first 5 episodes of the saga. Like,
Well, once they realize Goku's the one who killed Tao, that's when
Yeah.
they start showing it. Which, if it's Rivals on Arrival, that's like when they show up for
for
the fight,
tournament,
like the fight fully. So that means
I guess it
it's
works.
like it's supposed to be inserted there for you to like, hey, remember he killed Tao because it's important to know this before for the next like 12 episodes.
I guess it makes sense. I personally,
'Cause that's the
I like
argument.
the way that I've decided to do it is just like we're not breaking up a saga with a movie. The movies are happening after a big saga ends, no matter what comes after it. Even if this is supposed to just deadbolt straight into the next episode, we are taking a break. We're gonna go to the Penguin Village. Gosh dang it! And we're gonna like it.
It's a great vacation to take before getting into that super emotional saga where Goku's trying to bring Krillin back. Because I can guarantee that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. But with that, I don't really have anything else to say. If
Did we
you
say our
don't,
best part?
oh yeah, we did not. Best part, Tri-Beam Cannon. Tri-Beam Cannon.
It's hard not to pick that.
Yeah, it has to be my best part. Every time I see the Tri-Beam Cannon, I think of a scene where it's used later, and I love that scene so much. And I'm not going to say what it is, but it also has an amazing Dragon Ball Z abridged version of it. It happens in Dragon Ball Z. But in Dragon Ball Z abridged, they have a funny version of what's happening, but it's equally as epic, even with the silliness going on. I just love it every time. And every time I see him use it, every time I see him floating with his little triangle in front of his hands, I'm like, oh boy, it reminds me of that part. You know, like, oh,
It's like me with the full Nelson.
oh, Tien, you are so. Oh, you're not even the strongest Z fighter. I don't even think you're as strong as you are. Ah!
Oh my goodness!
Every time, I think of the Z abridged, but it's also just such a cool animation. You see him like almost like summoning lightning, like Avatar: Last Airbender, just like shoot it down. Like it is cool. The fact that he has to like focus on his sights, like as it like moves around like the Predator sight. It is amazing.
Yeah.
So Jesse, what is your best part?
I mean, that's a great best part. If I just want to take it, I am going to take kind of like Tien's, like everyone's makeup scene at the end.
Yeah, that's
Like before they go to dinner and they spoil Krillin's gonna die and then Krillin dies.
That
like
is
when
that would have
Tien
been my
comes and
honorable
like
mention.
tries to offer the money and everyone's kind of talking and like even Yamcha comes up, I was like, dude, I forgive you, man. Like it's all good.
It happens. I understand. Crappy people.
It's the heat of
lead-
battle.
Yeah,
Really.
and happy people, or you're led by
What is it?
evil
As
people.
they say, what the fog of war?
Yeah, the fog of war or whatever.
Yeah, like that type of thing.
Yeah. That was my honorable mention. If you hadn't picked it, I was gonna say it as an honorable mention.
Yeah, but the Tri-Beam cannon is so good as well.
Mm-hmm.
But you have a better reason to like it. So I'm like, you know what? I'll take the cool as we always say, Goku. Great at making friends out of enemies.
Yeah.
It's why I'm like, there's a very good chance this King Piccolo is the same Piccolo that I know. because odds are Goku's gonna make a friend out of an enemy.
I guess we'll have to wait and see. But while we're waiting and seeing, you know what you guys can do at home? You can download, subscribe, rate, and review. Leave us a 5-star rating. You can also reach out to us at becomingsaiyans@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at Becoming Saiyans Pod. And until next time, I've been Truman.
And I've been Jesse.
And the journey continues.
Bye.